Good morning to all of you. I am Professor V.K. Verma, Department of Agronomy, Chandrasekhar Azad, University of Agriculture and Technology, Kanpur. Today I am going to talk to you on the topic herbicidal absorption, translocation and mode of action in plant body. As you all aware that the weeds are unwanted plants grow on unwanted place. To control weeds, there are some other options other than herbicides like manual weeding, cultural practices and biological control, but they are economically costly and non-efficient also. So the herbicidal control of weeds are only efficient and cheapest way to control weeds in every crop fields. Prior to use herbicides, it is necessary to know how it works. I think this lecture is somehow more beneficial to develop knowledge and skill among UG, PG and PhD students. So, this is the herbicidal absorption. Herbicidal absorption are of two types: soil applied herbicides and foliage applied herbicides. First one, soil applied herbicides. Root, shoot and seeds are the major site of uptake of soil applied herbicide. In case of soil applied herbicides, placement of herbicide in soil is the important factor in governing the efficiency, selectivity and reproducibility of the weed control obtained. Water salts and water soluble herbicides are taken up by root hairs and cortex cells called primary absorbing region. From root hairs and cortex cell, the molecule migrate via symplast to apoplast and ascend into the foliage via transpiration stream. The herbicide molecule enter the roots by above mechanism as inorganic ions. They are absorbed by both passive and active absorption mechanism. The passive extreme is primarily along the absorbed water and move in apoplast system including xylem. Active absorption requires energy and the herbicides enter into the protoplasm and move via the symplast system. The movement of herbicides by one or both of these mechanisms depending upon the chemical and physical properties of the molecule. Besides roots, the soil applied herbicides are also absorbed by the developing shoots and coleoptile. This mechanism are of more visible by these pictures, that is herbicidal absorption through root hairs. From root hairs, as you know, these are the root hairs. By the root hairs, molecules enter into cortex cell and from cortex cell they enter by endodermis to phloem and xylem. This is the pathway of herbicides through cuticle to xylem. Cuticle, this is the epidermis. Epidermis covered by plasmodesmata and plasmodesmata from plasma membrane covered all the cortex area. From cortex, the molecules enter into endodermis, then in pericycle, and from pericycle it moves to xylem system. It is more visible. This is the diagram of root hair. Root hair covered by epidermis cell, then pericycle, endodermis, and in endodermis, that is phloem and xylem. This is the diagram of dicot stem, in which visibility of phloem and xylem cell are and vascular bundles are more visible. Now concentrate on foliage applied herbicides. Foliage is the main source of entrance for post-emergence herbicides. Effect of herbicides depend upon its ability to penetrate the cuticle, which is a part of apoplast, and the plasma, which covers all surface of the symplast, including plasmodesmata, to enter the symplast. Foliage applied herbicides may exist in polar form or non-polar form. The polar ions are electrically positive as well as negative. Examples of polar compounds are water, carbohydrate, amino acids, and herbicides such as 2,4-D salts, etc. They are soluble in polar solvents and insoluble in non-polar solvents. In contrast, the non-polar ions are neither strongly positive or negative and hence are called non-electrolytes. Non-polar compounds includes oils, waxes, 2,4-D acid, and most organic substances. Foliage applied herbicides enter the living cells either by a leapoidal route or an aqueous route or both. Fat soluble compounds and non-polar compounds readily penetrate the cuticle by diffusion. Polar herbicides take the aqueous pathway and their penetration is greatly assisted by high humidity and saturated atmosphere around the leaves. As high water content in the leaf, as a result of high humidity, enables the water system of the leaf cells to become almost contiguous with the outer surface of the cuticle and provides an aqueous pathway from the cuticle to the symplast. Penetration through trichomes and stomata. This is the herbicidal absorption through shoot system. As in this picture, it is visible that above root system, shoot system exists, and in shoot system, stem, bud stem leaf unit, leaves. In leaf, phloem, xylem, and dermal cells are exist. Xylem, phloem, and dermal cells are also exist in stem. In root system, phloem, xylem, cortex cell are also existed. So this is the route via which herbicidal molecule enter into plant body and translocated all over plant body. This is the leaf anatomy. Leaf anatomy shows that first one cuticle, then xylem, phloem, veins, epidermis, palisade mesophyll, spongy mesophyll cells. Trichomes or leaf hairs are the extension of epidermal cells. They provide a microclimate which can alter the drying. time of aqueous spray and thus the pattern of absorption. Entry through the stomata takes place when they are open at the time of treatment. Aqueous solution do not penetrate stomata and hence addition of a wetting agent is required to lower surface tension and improve spreading of herbicidal solution on the leaf surface. Wetting agents destroy the air films between the solution and cuticle. Stomata absorption of foliage applied herbicides is greater through the lower than the upper leaf surface. These are the tissue system of leaf in which it is clearly visible that outer area epidermis is dermal tissues and in inner area ground tissues, then phloem and xylem. Penetration through stem. The stem of a plant has an extensive and highly developed transport system. The degree of penetration through the stem depends upon the growth and a stage of development of a plant. Penetration through a young and immature stem is rapid than the mature stem. The mechanism is same as foliage. So this is the herbicidal absorption by two ways, that is soil applied and foliage applied. Now herbicidal translocation. Once the herbicide is absorbed into the plant system, it moves either apoplastically, that is xylem, or symplastically, that is phloem. Generally, the symplast includes the phloem transportation mechanism and apoplast includes the xylem's stream. The apoplast protects the symplast from unavoidable environmental condition that causes desiccation and abrasion. Any chemical that penetrate the symplast first penetrate the apoplast. The cuticle, which is a part of apoplast, and the plasma membrane, which covers all the surface of the symplast, including the plasmodesmata, are the two main barriers that a chemical must penetrate to enter the symplast. Under low soil moisture and high transpiration condition, water deficit develop within the plant. This situation facilitates a rapid absorption and translocation of herbicides. Now, what are the factors which affect herbicidal absorption and translocation? There are so many factors like plant factor, environmental factor, soil factor, chemical factor, etc. Plant factors are like branching habit of plant surface, like waxy or hairy surface, plant maturity, that is young or old plant species and varieties. Environmental factors are temperature and humidity, rainfall, wind speed, light, etc. Soil factors are soil water stress and temperature, soil pH, soil organic matter and clay type are affect the absorption and translocation of herbicides in plant body. The chemical factors are herbicidal concentration, pH of herbicidal solution, chemical structure of herbicide, that is solubility of herbicidal solution, etc. And next, the surfactants. Surfactants are also act the absorption and translocation. These are wetting and spreading agents like emulsifiers, thickening and sticking agents, humectants, dispersing agents, and fertilizer additives. These affects the herbicidal absorption and translocation into plant body. Now, the mechanism of action of herbicides. Herbicides bring about various physiological and biochemical effects on the growth and development of emerging seedlings as well as established plants, either after coming into contact or after reaching the site of action within plant tissue. The net result is the death of plant. These physiological and biochemical effects are followed by various types of visual injury system on susceptible plants. These are chlorosis, defoliation, stunting, necrosis, stand reduction, epinasty, morphological aberration, growth stimulation, cupping of leaves, marginal leaf burn, desiccation, delayed emergence, germination failure, etc. These injury systems may appear on roots, flowers, fruits, and foliage of plant, etc. The various physiological and biochemical processes affected by herbicides are grouped under four broad categories. That is, number one, respiration and mitochondrial activities. Number two, photosynthesis. Number three, protein and nucleic acid metabolism. Number four, hydrolytic enzyme activities. Now, number one, respiration and mitochondrial activities. Herbicides affect the mitochondrial activities by uncoupling the reactions responsible for ATP synthesis or interfering with the electron transport and energy transfer. Uncouplers act on membranes of the mitochondria in which photophosphorylation takes place. Electrons leak through the membranes so that the charges that they normally separate are lost. As a result, energy is not accumulated for ATP synthesis. Besides, uncouplers also stimulate respiration of mitochondria, promote hydrolysis of ATP, or inhibit exchange reactions catalyzed by mitochondria in the absence of inorganic phosphate, ADP, ATP, and H2O. So, this process of respiration and mitochondrial activities are highly influenced by herbicidal molecules. Next one, inhibition of photosynthesis. Inhibition of or blocking the photosynthesis is inhibited by activity of herbicidal molecules by four ways. A. Inhibiting or blocking of Hill reaction and production of O2 from H2O in phase 2. Second, inhibiting the transfer or transport of electrons in phase 2. Next, removing electrons from the electron transport from ferredoxin in phase 1, and fourth one, inhibiting the non-cyclic photophosphorylation or ATP synthesis. The chemicals are herbicides which inhibit or block oxygen evolution, also inhibit non-cyclic photophosphorylation. A substance that permits electron transport to continue while blocking ATP synthesis is said to be an uncoupler. This mode of inhibition is frequently detected by showing an enhancement of electron transport without producing a corresponding increase in photophosphorylation. Third one, protein and nucleic acid metabolism. Protein synthesis is an active process as a major biological function, which along with RNA synthesis is essential for cell elongation. The synthesis of protein are highly organized molecules composed of a specific sequence of amino acids joined by peptide bonds. Ribosomes are particulate ribonucleoprotein where protein are synthesized. This process of protein synthesis is an elaborate one requiring the presence and participation of various reactions and components. This process is highly influenced by some herbicidal molecule. And fourth one, hydrolytic enzyme activities. Hydrolytic enzyme activities are also influenced by herbicidal molecule. During seed germination, enzymes are activated, synthesized, and stored. Insoluble foods degraded, soluble foods translocated, nutrients mobilized, and synthetic reactions related to growth takes place. One of the metabolic processes that takes place during this time is the production of hydrolytic enzymes such as amylase, protease, lipases, phosphatases, esterases, etc. Each of these enzymes degrades the large molecules into subunits. Amylase degrade stored carbohydrates into simple sugars. Protease degrade stored protein into amino acids. Lipase act upon fats to form long chain fatty acids and glycerol compounds, etc. Thus, the production of hydrolytic enzymes requires the synthesis and presence of proteins, polyribosomes, and nucleic acid. An effect of herbicide on any one or more of these events would affect the other events as well, consequently affecting the eventual germination of seed. The significant number of pre-emergence herbicides, particularly amides, thiocarbamates, and other, inhibit these metabolic processes vital for seed germination. So this is very typical process by which herbicidal molecule act into plant body and disturb all these processes, and ultimate result is death of plant. I think this will increase your knowledge. In nutshell, I elaborated the herbicidal absorption, translocation and mode of action of herbicides into plant body. Thank you very much.